I would like to call to this meeting to order at 6:30.
Members of the public can view the meeting live on YouTube, and the link is posted on the agenda. Members of the public are hereby notified that meetings of the Board of Directors are recorded, and requests for video recordings may be made to the clerk of the board. If a member of the public wishes to make a general public comment or a comment on a certain agenda item, please submit a blue speaker card to the clerk of the board, and speaker cards are available on the table at the back of the room. At this time, I'd like to welcome up Nina Seiner, Recreation Supervisor 2 at the district, and Nina will lead us in a moment of silence in memory of Carol Rose.
Thank you. Good evening, Chair Langham and members of the board. Carol was a founder and longtime president of Sacramento Junior Tennis Fund, an organization she created in 2014 out of her deep love for tennis and her desire to make the sport accessible to children in our community. For the past 12 years, she was a guiding force and a tireless advocate for young players, underserved youth, and the local tennis community. Her enthusiasm, generosity, and commitment to lead touched many lives. She's survived by her husband of nearly 59 years, Bill Rose, her daughters, Jennifer and Amanda, and her 4 grandchildren. I worked with Carol in the professional realm through CRPD for 8 years. During that time, we also developed a friendship, and she'll be kindly missed. Carol leaves behind a tremendous legacy of service and a lasting impact for the tennis community. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina. And now I will turn it back over to Nina for the pledge.
Okay, salute, pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Nina.
Right, that brings us to item 3, stating action item.
This is the portion of the meeting where we deal with any requests to join remotely through SB 707. We received no requests under the emergency cause provisions and will list it as no action taken.
All right, roll call.
Director Sloan?
Here.
Director Danzel?
Here.
Secretary Irwin?
Here.
Vice Chair Mattis?
Here.
Chair Langen?
Here. That brings us to B, comments by the public.
Members of the public may address the board on topics within the district's jurisdiction that are not listed on this agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. It is a violation of state law for the board to discuss or take action on non-agenda items. Board members may only briefly ask clarifying questions or refer the matter to staff. And at this time, we receive no speaker cards. However, is there anyone who would like to make a public comment? And seeing none, I will turn it back over to you.
All right. Brings us to C, consent calendar.
Consent calendar items are considered administratively routine and will be acted upon in one motion unless separate action on a specific item is necessary. The chairperson will consider any requests for discussion on the items prior to approval of the consent calendar. And this evening, we have 5 items for your consideration. At this time, we receive no speaker cards. However, is there anyone who would like to make a public comment? Seeing none.
All right, are there any of the items any board member would like to pull from the consent calendar? Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve consent calendar C1 through C5.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Vice Chair Mattis and a second by Director Sloan. Roll call vote.
Director Sloan?
Aye.
Director Danzel?
Aye.
Secretary Irwin?
Aye.
Vice Chair Mattis?
Aye.
Chair Langen?
Aye. All right, and seeing presentations none, committee reports none, that brings us to F, public hearings.
Item F1, adopt resolution 26/27-11, approving the final budget for the Cordova Recreation and Park District for fiscal year 2026/27 and authorize the general manager to file with the county auditor controller. And CFO Matt Goodell will be presenting this item once the public hearing is open.
All right, the public hearing is now open at 6:35.
All right, good evening, Chair Langen and board members. Tonight's the public hearing for the fiscal year 2026-27 final budget. We're continuing with the award-winning budget format and best practices that have served the district quite well, and I'm pleased to present a balanced final budget. We do have several adjustments since the June preliminary budget approval, so let's walk through those. To start, the board adopted a $39,764,900 preliminary spending budget at a public hearing on June 17th. We held a budget workshop and reviewed in detail the components of that spending proposal. Since the June meeting, there's been discussions and review over the past 2 months and requests for some adjustments, encumbrances, additions, and reductions, with a bottom line of $1,203,900 in additional spending. So let's take a closer look at exactly what that means. In the 20s category for services and supplies, we had a few changes. There's a request for additional trainings and conferences that came up. CEPTED, which is an assistance that we receive from law enforcement about safety in our parks and our facilities. It's a great program that we're going to involve a partnership with Rancho PD. Also requested was some deeper training for leadership through the 34 Strengths program. And finally, I submitted for a few GFOA financial awards, and part of this amount includes the attendance at the June 2027 conference. And if we're fortunate enough to win the awards, I figured I'd better show up to collect those. So it's in that amount. Apparently one of our newer parks, Gold Rush Park, has been enjoying complimentary water service. Unfortunately, Consolidated Services discovered that and has retroactively billed us. And so pursuant to a county ordinance, they can approximately bill us up to 3 years of that amount, and it came to about $49,000. I consider just leaving it as $49,000, but with the name Gold Rush, the Discovery, 49, it was like a little too much, right? So I made a minor adjustment to go to $50,000. Yes.
How did that happen? That we,
When we just received the property, just the proper paperwork to sign over to them wasn't done. And we have it as one of our process checklist items to do, is to notify the utility companies to make
the
sure.
water was just being delivered to?
I don't know if it's California law that I can't turn off the water or what anymore, but yeah, it was, we were using it and they were able to go back and look at the meter and say, honestly, I thought it was gonna be higher, so I was actually okay with the $49,000, but yeah,
Over how long a period? Was
3
that?
years.
It was 3 years.
yeah.
Great.
And they can only go back 3 years, so if we had it for 5 or 6, they could just go back for the 3, and that's what they
How
did.
can they prove we used it?
What's that?
How can they prove that we used that water?
The meter.
It's on our meter.
Yeah, it's metered. Like I said, I expected it to be more, so I was okay. For 3 years for that park, we're good. Yeah. Instead of buying trucks outright, we're doing a leasing program this year, and so we have to also, we didn't think about the logos that we have to put on all these trucks, and some software that we have to get to track our mileage, our fuel, maintenance, and overall efficiency of those trucks. And so that 16,000 extra represents that. And finally, a rare budget slide, we have a reduction. We don't need to rent a lift for a project that we're gonna do, so that's $2,500 off the books. And so the bottom line was $103,900 increase for our 20 spending. But let's chat about the 40s, because that's where a majority of the adjustments took place. Projects don't always cooperate with my fiscal year boundaries. Permitting, procurement, timelines, contractor availability, weather, they have a vote in the process. And so there's a list of those projects that we're carrying over into the next year. You can check out that full list in the final budget book. It's also in the CIP section of the board report that I give out monthly, and both are in this month's board package. So if you want to see those projects, you can. But overall, it's money that we've already planned on spending. We just didn't spend it, and so we're just going to carry that over and spend that $1 million this year. If you visited Lincoln Village Pool, you probably noticed the protective fencing around it. It certainly does its job, but it doesn't say, welcome to the pool, right? And so it's the first impression that we don't want to create. And so this project was subsequently added to the list to redo that fencing. And like many infrastructure items, it works great until it doesn't. And so we received notice from the school district, in which we share the water well at Dave Roberts Community Park, and that well required to be repaired, about $90,000, and so we agreed to share with that cost. And it actually came under that amount. They've already repaired it, but we added $45,000 to the final
What's
budget.
repairing it, just the pump and the equipment, or actually drilling it down?
I think they had to get into the ground, yeah, for that one, yeah.
It's not bad, yeah.
Yes. And of course, it came up after preliminary budget, happened this summer. And some reductions, though, due to scope and cost estimate changes and a contingency adjustment, because I like round numbers. And so we came down to a bottom line of $1.1 million extra. Again, most of it we already encumbered from last year, and we're just spending it this year with those 2 new projects. All right, so including all the adjustments and changes, the total is about $1.2 million at the bottom line. And so, again, offset with previously budgeted funds. That brings us to a total final spending budget plan for fiscal year 26-27 at $40,978,800. We finally hit that $40 million mark. This is the 8th-month budget cycle. It ends today. Yeah. Yes. I do want to thank staff for submitting those thoughtful department budget proposals. Also want to thank the Budget and Finance Committee, the Capital Improvements Committee, the Public PMRID Oversight Committee. They really assist us in reviewing the input and give thoughtful discussions that makes us really help think about what projects and work needs to get done in our parks. So all great there. So the staff report, the resolution, the award-winning final budget book, including all the expanded schedules, the required accounting forms, that can be found in your board package. And so with tonight's adoption, I can finally start talking about this year and start working on next year's budget. So Chair Langen, that's my presentation.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any public comment?
We've received no cards and seeing none.
All right, the public hearing is now closed at 6:42. Right, do we have any questions, comments for CFO Cadell?
Mr. Cadell, thank you for the update on this. And like you said, your project's not falling in the years where they need to.
Yeah.
We've seen that before, but the money was allotted, so it's just moving into the next year. So it's not a major,
Not a big
major
shift.
deal. But that fence over at the pool there, that's been needed to be done since I think the pool went in, and update that. So I'm glad to see that, and the community will definitely appreciate that. So thank
Yeah,
you.
it's going to look nice. Yep.
You know what kind of fence you're gonna put in?
Yep.
What kind is that? The black rod?
Yeah, exactly.
Black, whatever?
Yeah, where it's bent on the top.
With the thing, yeah.
And it has like electricity and lasers and stuff to it. No, it doesn't have those things. But those were added alternatives. Yeah, we didn't add those.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Appreciate the updates. It's always easy to understand and read, so thank you.
That's a great book. Hopefully,
I
you
hear
did
it's
go through it.
award-winning, so.
Yeah, it's award-winning.
At least twice in the last 6 minutes, so, thank you.
Thank you for
Fair.
all the hard work. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Mark.
Yep, thank you for the hard work and the presentations. As Secretary Yearwood said, it's very easy to read, and so for someone that isn't so keen on numbers, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
that's the goal.
All right, do we have a motion?
Chair Langen, I'll move the Board of Directors adopt the Resolution 26/27-11, approving the final budget for the Cordova Recreation Park District for fiscal year 2026-27, and authorize the General Manager to file with the County Auditor Controller.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Secretary Yearwood and a second by Director Danzel. Roll call vote.
Director Sloan?
Aye.
Director Danzel?
Aye.
Secretary Yearwood?
Aye.
Vice Chair Mattis?
Aye.
Chair Langen?
Aye.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
That always gets an applause.
Are we gonna get $40 million t-shirts now or something? Not the cost of them.
You get to go on vacation.
Right,
Yeah.
super large shirt.
All right, that brings us to G, regular calendar.
Item G1, authorize the general manager to sign a construction agreement with Olympic Land Construction, Inc. in the amount of $3,753,720 for the Monarch and Butterfly Neighborhood Parks project. And at this time, we received no speaker cards. And seeing no public comment, I'd like to welcome up Principal Planner Terry Zeller.
Thank you, Shelby, and Chair Langdon and the board. And tonight we don't have an award-winning budget book, but we do have we have a project to award. So tonight we have a construction agreement that we would like to authorize the general manager to sign for Monarch and Butterfly Neighborhood Parks. And I'd like to give you a little bit of background just to remind you of the project. and take any questions at the end. So this project goes back to September of 2022 when the district and Lennar Homes LLC entered into a park development agreement for the residential development known as Grant Line 220. So the PDA was approved by the board back in 2022, and it was recorded in the official records of the County of Sacramento at that time. So the PDA defined 2 neighborhood parks for this development, and the 2 park parcels had concept approval and were named back in October of 2024, if you recall, at the Board of Directors meeting. And the names chosen were Monarch Park for the 5-acre East Park and Butterfly Park for the 3.1-acre West Park. The park plans and the specifications were completed in June of 2026, and both parks were combined into a single bid package with the award covering the construction of both parks simultaneously under one contractor. The bid opening was held in July, at the end of July, and the district received 9 bids. So we had a really good response to the bid project. And Olympic Land Construction was determined to be the lowest responsive bidder. They have done park construction for us in the past. Just to give you a little bit of background, both Monarch and Butterfly Parks are within 1,300 feet of each other, about 3 blocks apart on the same road. And so the unique situation that this presented allowed us to look at it as a split park concept, and that provided complementary amenities between these 2 close sites. We didn't want to duplicate things so close together. So Butterfly Park, the smaller park, focuses on a large playground and picnic area as the centerpiece, and Monarch Park contains 2 picnic areas and an open turf area for sports and fitness opportunities. Butterfly Park was chosen to have the playground due to the fact that it is adjacent to a high-density residential area, which is yet to be developed. There's not a whole lot out there on that side, on the west side at the time. In which that normally a high-density residential usually has more young children than single-family areas. In addition to the playground, Butterfly Park has got a large picnic area, has some flexible lawn spaces, and it also has pollinator gardens, interpretive signage, and some interior circulation paths. And the signage is there to help visitors understand how the drought-tolerant plantings and flowers support butterflies, birds, and other pollinators. Monarch Park, which is the west park, is about 5 acres as opposed to the 3.1 acre, and we have dual picnic areas on both the north and the south end of the park. And there's also a fitness node, a cornhole area, and it is next to what is supposed to be a primary school site, which typically does have some public access to a playground, so the choice was made to not have a secondary playground and duplicate what the school property offers. And in addition to these amenities, Monarch Park also has the pollinator gardens, an interior loop, and some interpretive signage to help visitors understand the plantings and how they support our pollinator species. So as I had said on those 2 parks, the theme is meant to embrace the area's vibrant butterfly population, and it's inspired by their diversity and their flight patterns. So the site plan features whimsical forms and meandering paths that encourage exploration, and we are going to have strategically placed native pollinator gardens to create habitats and ecosystems for butterflies. That's the goal of the project, and that's what the design was really focused on. And we do use drought-tolerant vegetation, cobbles, and boulders to reduce the water use and our maintenance. As far as fiscal impact, the park construction is funded by our park development impact fees collected from home construction permits as required under the PDA, and we did come in under budget for these parks. It was worth mentioning. And so after board approval, the general manager will sign our construction agreement documents, and the contractor will be given a notice to proceed. We expect that to happen in September. So I do request that the board of directors authorize the general manager to sign the construction agreement for Olympic Land Construction in the amount of $3,753,720 for the Monarch and Butterfly Neighborhood Parks project. And I can take any questions.
All right, we'll start down at the far end.
So would we be introducing some butterflies to this, or are we just expecting them to show up?
We are expecting them to show up.
And are they in that area now, right now?
There are butterfly species in the area. What we're going to do is encourage a habitat that attracts and retains butterfly
'Cause
species.
I have seen photographs of certain parks during the butterfly season, especially the monarchs, that are unbelievable, like millions of them, and where they can land on people's arms and they're like butterflies everywhere. That'd be kind of exciting if we could create that type of habitat.
Yeah, we're going to see how far we can push this, because we have a lot of promise with the types of plant material that we're expected to put in there.
Any other creatures or varmints that are attracted to this type of environment?
Mostly, no. I mean, there
Birds?
are bats that eat butterflies, but I don't expect that the pollinator gardens are going to attract anything other than the insect species that we're looking to encourage.
That's great. Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Terry's on the theory that if you build it, they will come, so
That's correct.
It's a great thing. And we know when we build parks that people come to them,
Oh,
and
you can buy it.
especially you can, if you're gonna bring some nature to them, also that's a great thing. Looking at the drawings, Terry, they're incredible, and, we've approved them, but yeah, they're great, so let's just keep moving forward.
Thank you.
I have one question. We probably talked about this when we approved it, but why are these parks not just one park? Why did they do the land the way they did it?
That is probably a question for our manager. I was not involved in the acquisition
Or
process.
do you wanna?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, because they were so close to each other, and I'm sure it probably has to do with where land was and what they could do. They couldn't just smash them together.
Yeah, oftentimes the design of subdivisions spans years, right? And in this particular case, the west side, or I'm sorry, the east side was at one point supposed to be a active adult community, and then they had a 5-acre park in there, and then they changed that. But the reason is because our neighborhood park standard, we allow 2 acres, up to, can be 15 acres, but the model that has seemed to work really well for the district and for communities is approximately 4 acres in size, right? So that way that we can keep the walking distance from the different houses a little shorter. So in this case, there was also Americanos kind of splits the subdivision, and so it kind of made sense to have the parks on each side of that. So hopefully that helped.
Okay, I didn't realize the Americanos bisected it. Okay, well, that makes sense, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah, when I had talked about Rose Finch being the common road between the two parks, it does get bisected by a very busy road, Americanos. Potentially a very busy road.
Which park is the one doesn't have development on it yet?
Both of them, isn't it?
Butterfly Park has 3 sides that are still devoid of homes right now, and that's the one that also has the high-density property that's adjacent to it on the north boundary.
And there's still no permits pulled or anything for that development yet?
That I am not sure of.
Okay, so then we're gonna put in, $3.7, $3.8 million in this park, and I hate to see it, 3 or 4 years later, the development comes, dirt's all moved around, and it goes into our park, and it covers up all of our vegetation, all of our plants. So is there a way we can work with that developer to make sure that any damage that they do to the park gets reimbursed?
Yeah, and we actually have a working case example of that. Exploration Park did not have, it was supposed to be a school site on the eastern portion of that, where that park is. And instead, they did 64 infill homes on that park site after we were basically in substantial completion. And so we worked with the home builder out there that was working on behalf of the developer, and made sure that their boundary lines were correct, and that they helped us to maintain the drainage swale. And actually, we did a connection, and they partially paid for that connection of those homes to the park on the east side. So it worked out well, and we have good control over what goes on those park sites.
Okay.
So we'll keep an eye on that,
Just
Mark.
mitigate that dust.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. And then debris from the construction and everything else too.
Right,
so,
yeah, they're famous for dumping things before the park gets built, and we try to keep them away from it after.
Yeah. Other than that, that's good, thank you.
Thank you for the great presentation. On Monarch Park, you said the cornhole area. Are there going to be like permanent cornhole boards there, or is it going to be?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna have concrete cornhole. It's very similar to if you walk out here on the south end of our building. We have a cornhole that's
Oh, okay.
actually part of this campus.
Oh, that's awesome. No, that's really good. Thank you.
I have one more question.
Yes.
The ping pong tables, they'll be cement,
Yes,
and they'll have a net or?
yeah, it'll all be durable materials.
So it's something that's hard?
Yes.
Not a net,
Correct.
so people will just bring their own paddles and balls, right?
Yes.
Is there any, I noticed that an influx of a lot of people playing chess and checkers now, especially at some of the, we have a table that has the pattern for checkerboard
Yes.
in it. Are we having any of those out there, or?
I can't recall if we have that specifically for that park, but we do have those within our system, I
Right,
know.
I-
Mhm.
Oh, Gold Rush.
It was a gold rush, and I recently saw some other people playing, young people playing
Really?
they were playing at Lincoln Village Park, and I go, we have some of those tables that have those built into it.
Mhm.
I'd like to see more of that.
Was it chess or
Federer still has
checkers?
them, too.
What?
Was it chess or checkers?
They were playing chess,
Okay,
yeah. Play on the same board, don't they?
yeah, you can use the same board.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Do we have a motion?
Chair, I move the Board of Directors authorize the General Manager to sign a construction agreement with Olympic Land Construction, Inc. in the amount of $3,753,720 for Monarch and Butterfly Neighborhood Park projects.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Director Danzel and a second by Director Sloan. Roll call vote.
Director Sloan?
Aye.
Director Danzel?
Aye.
Secretary Yerwin?
Aye.
Vice Chair Mattis?
Aye.
Chair Langen?
Aye.
Thank you.
Well, all right.
All right. And that brings us to H, Board of Directors items.
For item H1 and H2A, there are no items, and item H2B is the Community Activities Report. And at this time, we received no speaker cards, and seeing none, I will turn it back over to you, Chair.
All right. So that brings us down to, do we have the training?
Just activities.
Okay. We'll do the Community Activities Report, and we can start at the far end with Director Sloan.
Okay, here we go. Saturday, July 18th, Prospect Hill Park Community Meeting. It was very well attended. And I was very surprised that it was attended a lot by grandparents. And that seems to be the new norm at some of our parks, that the grandparents will be bringing their grandkids to the parks. That's, I thought it was kind of cool. And it was a very productive meeting. On Thursday, July 30th, I attended by phone, is the CRPD Legislative Committee meeting. And I can't go over everything we went, and I will promise to, if you guys want to, I can text you or send you the list of bills. But just to break it down, in the assembly, there were 17 total bills that we were looking at, and CRPD was supporting 8 of them, opposing 5 of them. The rest were being watched or discussed. In the Senate bills, there were 13 total bills we were looking at, 5 supporting, 3 opposed, and the rest were looking at watching or discussing them. 2 bills that I think I'm going to be looking at closely, and it could change the way things run in this the realm of being an elected official is AI and how it's so prominent in the workplace and showing up on phones and things like that with information that it's somehow they either got it from somewhere maybe in my phone or somewhere else, but anyway, it could be shared by someone else. And so there are talks about, there's a bill that's AB 2651, which is an AI performing services bill, which you should probably look up. And the other one is SB 1159, which is it's an AI transparency and governance bill, and that's the one I think is pretty important. It's, you know, AI robots are not considered people, yet they can give you information that all 3 board members could see that same information, and somehow it could change our minds, or kind of like become like I don't know, a Brown Act violation. I'm thinking possibility. That's just my idea. I don't know if after seeing the movie Terminator, I don't know if I trust AI as much as people just have embraced it. It does strange things to images, but that's one thing to keep an eye on. Saturday, August 1st, I had the privilege of going to the Soil-Borne Farms barn ribbon cutting event, and I had no idea what this barn was going to look like. And if you think it was going to look like a barn that you see in your mind growing up, the red barn and the window pane up above with the chicken, it wasn't. It was like it was built into the landscape. It was like a Frank Lloyd Wright kind of image. And I saw it before they did the ribbon cutting, and I thought, what's that structure there? And then I realized that was the barn. So if you haven't seen it, or in the pictures that I posted, I highly recommend you getting out there and checking this thing out. It's got things growing on the roof. It's got a great area for the animals, and there were no animals in it yet, but they're planning on bringing them pretty soon, if they're not there already. Friday, August 7th, family swim night at Rosemont High School was a real success. Had a lot of people. Danny and his family were there enjoying the water. There was another event at Rosemont Park, which was a food truck event, and I think next year we're talking about combining them. The theme was Frozen, and there was Frozen characters walking around for photos, ops, and the kids really loved it. It was a great time. Friday, August 7th, I went to Village Green Park for the first concert in the park. It was the class of '85. It was packed. It was really well attended. And then the next week, I went to the next one where the Neon Playboys were playing. And once again, it was packed. Even though it's hot, it was just packed. It cooled off a little bit in the evening, but it was a nice event. And I highly recommend you guys getting out there this Friday night. The next morning, I got up. I didn't list it on my thing, but I got up early. I wasn't sure I was going to do this tonight. Drove to Hagan Park into the community pool, and they were holding the first annual youth triathlon. And I tell you, it was a very successful event. It's a beginning kind of challenge for kids. I think it was, I don't know, was it like 5 to 14 or something like that, or 16? It was pretty good broad swath of range. But they were, it depends on how old they were. They either do one lap, one side of the pool, and then they get up and they get on their bicycle, and then they get off the bike, and then they run a little bit. And it was more challenging as the older you were. And that was, I can see that being a signature event. Chase was there, and it was, he could attest, Brian was there. And the weather was perfect, and it was there was a little bit of thing, but I'm not gonna talk about that. It was a successful event, and it's gonna be even more successful next year.
What was the turnout for that?
What was the turnout?
Yeah.
There was at least 50 kids out
I
there.
think there was 56 kids for the first one, and the word only got out like 2 to 3 weeks prior to the
Because
event.
there were flyers 2 weeks before, because we were at Elk Grove Aquatic Center, and they had flyers up there during our championship for swim, so I was very shocked to see flyers out there. It's like,
I will let Jason
Yeah,
know that.
and there was response to, I posted on a couple of venues, Facebook venues, groups, and there were comments as, I didn't know about this, but next year I am definitely gonna take advantage of this, so it's gonna grow, it could be double, it could double next year. The next thing was on Saturday, oh, I got that one, Saturday, August 15th, I attended the 25th anniversary of celebration of Sun River Neighborhood Association. I don't know if you're familiar with Sun River Park. It's nestled there. I think Sunrise is on one side, and then it's sort of like Coloma is on the other side. It sort of like is in this little wedgy area, and it backs up to the river. And okay, it said it started at 6:30. I got there at 6:30. There was already 100 people there. It was very well attended. They had a movie also that same evening. It was sponsored by 3 restaurants, donated food, and Brookfields donated some cookies, and there were drinks from Canned Food Grocery Outlet store drinks, and it was just crazy a night, and it was really well attended, and Chase was also there. I appreciate you coming out to those kind of things. And I also posted some pictures on their site, and so you guys are welcome to look at some of those. Next thing is Wednesday, August 19th. That was today, wasn't it? In the morning, I had a CRPD board meeting. And I'm going to let Brian talk to some of this, because I think I haven't left much out for you, but their budget, the state budget is $251 billion. So is that 210 more than ours? Something like that. But we're growing. When I started this job, it was only like 10 million. So anyway, we had a legislative outreach thing, discussion on who we were going to have for the legislator of the year, and talked about the conference, upcoming conference at Everline, and discussed committee assignments and some meeting dates. I'm going to let Brian continue this. Thank you.
July 18th, also attended the Prospect Hill Shade Project. And as Director Sloan said, yeah, there was definitely a great turnout. It was nice to see everybody there. Vice Chair Mattis, thank you for helping getting the words out. I mean, I think that's what I heard a lot of people say, that they'd heard it from you, not just the district, but also you. So that was, thank you for that. The feedback was great. I know staff, took all that in and listened to exactly what the community wants, and it's a great plan for that park. I mean, it's been a while since things have been done, and it needs it out there. So that's on the 18th. On July 30th, Legislative Committee, as Director Sloan said, lots of things going on, especially with the AI stuff. And one of the topics is they were talking is an AI bot now. When requests come in, do you know that it's an AI bot? Don't you know? How are we going to differentiate? And the big fear is public records. Is somebody actually requesting them, or is a bot requesting them? And that's what they're trying to figure out now, how they're going to regulate that. And because a bot is not a person, so is it a legitimate request? And then today, the CRPD board meeting, we did discuss lots of things there. We discussed our budget, we discussed committee assignments, state budget, legislative outreach. Once again, things have changed since the meeting on the 30th. There's been some bells that have been pulled, and which was good for some of the things we were watching. We did discuss next year's conference, where, when, why, how, who our speaker's going to be. We had, things like that. Those dates are Wednesday, May 26th to Saturday, May 29th, 2020 at Everline up in Tahoe. And, just making sure that we're all there and everybody's, working well with CPPG, which is our legislative analyst for CRPD, and making sure that everything is on board with us and them, and making sure that we continue to move in the right direction legislatively, along with legislative of the year and how all that is going to work over the next few years. There was some discussion of that today. Other than that, we've got our dates for the rest of the year for committee assignments, things like that. That's the end of my report, Chair.
Thank you. Secretary Yearwood?
That's the end of my report. I have nothing.
Thank you. And Vice Chair Mattis?
The only thing I have is the Prospect Hill Shade Project Community Meeting on July 18th, and I want to thank the district for putting that together and having the photos, the renderings. So that was my first opportunity too of actually seeing it. So I was very, very happy to see what was presented there. Yeah, and there was just a lot of discussions, because later that night there was like a community crawl that we do, at people's houses, and so there was a lot of talk about the shade, and people were very excited, and the parents were very they want to know when it was going to start. So it was very good to kind of let them know that we'll have it for next year, so for the summertime. So, but yeah, it's definitely needed out there. And what was nice too was there was a member from the GRCA Master Association was there, one of the board members. So he went back. I was trying to listen to the meeting last night via Zoom to see if he was going to talk about it, but I just couldn't hang in there on the Zoom. So hopefully he was able to report out about it. So that would have been nice to see what the feedback would have been. And that's it. That's it for me. Thank you.
All right. August 6th, the Rosemont Community Association meeting. Just a good time to share and have dialogue with them just about ways that specifically one of the things that they brought up, and it's been heard, Director Sloan talked about it, was the family night or the family swim night and the food truck mania on the same night. How could we next year possibly make that different, as in make it together as a thing instead of two different areas? So yeah, talked about that. Also a new bill that came up and just about how whose responsibilities it is for different things. And so Chase, thank you so much for getting back promptly to that, and to Kathy. And then the family swim night, August 7th, was a great time out there. Yeah, I was out there with my family, and fun as always, just to be out there and cool off, as luckily it was a hotter day. So, and then after that, we decided to go over to the park, Rosemont Community Park, for the Rosemont Food Truck Mania, where we had dinner and enjoyed about an hour at the park. So it was a great time. That leads us to comments by staff. Item I.
Item I-1, district-wide monthly progress report for August 2026. And at this time, we received no speaker cards. And seeing no public comment, I will turn it over to General Manager Patrick Larkin.
Thank you, Shelby. So first is congratulations to Chase, our new Parks and Recreation Director. He'll be sharing his speech later in the report here. So congratulations, Chase. You did a phenomenal job in our very competitive recruitment. So congrats. We're really looking forward to your leadership in this new role. Also, kudos to Andrea White. She has celebrated 20-year anniversary here with the district. So thank you for all of those years of service. I'm sure you've seen a lot in 20 years. So thank you for all of your loyalty and commitment to our district. The insurance market evaluation, last meeting, we had board directed staff to begin evaluating options for the district's liability, property, and workers' compensation insurance coverage by exploring providers that specialize in serving special districts and public agencies. As a part of this effort, we reached out to SDRMA to learn more about its coverage options, member services, and quotation process. Staff will continue gathering information and obtaining competitive proposals to evaluate coverage, services, and overall value before making a future recommendation. So maybe a little bit more complicated than we originally thought in getting a quote. We most likely will have the information to do the comparative in November. We have 6 positions under recruitment, which are listed there on page 177. The White Rock Community Dog Park is finally under construction, so we're super excited to get that going. We have a tentative date for ribbon cutting, which we sent out to the board. I believe it's November 7th. Does that sound right?
That is.
In the morning. So check your emails, see if you have availability for that. We're very excited to bring that amenity to that community. Also, we have the Ranch Community Park under construction. They have 365 days for completion, so this time next year, we should ribbon cutting that one and offering that and opening it up to the community as well. There's gonna be a lot of park openings next year. They had a memorial bench donation at Riviera East Park to honor Sean Maverick Neely. The approval for the donation included 1 metal bench with a memorial plaque to be located near the west playground along the park pathway. Looks great out there. Thank you to the staff for facilitating that for the family. It's listed on page 182. And then I get to turn it over to our new Parks and Recreation Director, Chase Michelotti.
Thank you, Patrick. Good evening. It's been a busy month in Parks, Recreation, and Golf. On July 17th, we hosted our Let the Ghoul Times Roll family swim night at Cordova Community Pool. We had a fantastic attendance with 393 people showing up for swimming, music, games, and spooky-themed activities. And a special thank you to Colin Kehoe and all the aquatic staff for making it a memorable evening. On July 31st, we hosted another family swim night, Baby Shark, at Lincoln Village Community Park, where we also had a great turnout of 105 attendees. Everyone enjoyed games and prizes, otter pops, and of course dancing to Baby Shark. Among other favorite songs. Over in Park Services, great news. All our aquatic facilities successfully passed the annual county inspections. So thank you to our amazing aquatics management team, or excuse me, maintenance team, for their outstanding commitment to maintaining our facilities and equipment. If you turn to page 188, you'll notice we had a great deal of maintenance projects and improvements in July. One of them as part of the 2025-26 CIP program for the Mayfair Sports Center. We added 160 feet of 8-foot tall fencing, and that was installed along the south side of the newly replaced South Soccer Field. And we also installed new mesh soccer netting, barriers throughout the play area, and added some new ornamental trash cans. So thank you to Jim and the Park Services team for always being proactive in ensuring these important issues are dealt with. You'll also notice in Park Services on July 29th, staff participated in the PG&E 811 Safe Excavation Training, which provided some valuable knowledge and resources to help ensure safe practices during an excavation project. Over in Recreation, we're continuing to have a busy summer in Camp Cordova Summer Camp. Both the junior and original camp programs reached full enrollment very early on and maintained full enrollment through the summer. Our families were all very thrilled at how summer camp went, and they continue to provide overwhelmingly positive feedback in anticipation of next year. If you look on page 190, the Teen Adventure Group was busy as usual in July. In July, TAG members attended Outdoor Youth Leadership Camp at Henry Cowell Redwood State Park, which was put on by the California State Parks. And they participated in leadership development sessions and worked on their outdoor skills through activities like cooking at camp and running different components of the campsite, including setup and breakdown. We also hosted the 4th annual Bike Lab Recreate for Summer TAG Camp, where TAG campers hiked, biked, learned about local flora and fauna, and even spent time being educated about Native American artifacts and how to make a replica of their own. In aquatics, on July 31st, we celebrated International Lifeguard Appreciation Day, where we recognized our amazing aquatic staff for their professionalism and vigilance in ensuring a safe and enjoyable pool experience for all our community members. And on page 191, you'll see just a couple of the activities that took place, but kudos to Nicole and her staff on another successful summer and fun-filled day of appreciating the team's accomplishments. Swim lessons were very successful this summer. We had 1,766 participants so far this year, and we are very thrilled to have 93 swimmers already signed up for fall swim lessons. So again, great job to Nicole and her staff. Our swim teams have also had a really great summer. The Cordova Blue Marlins won the Valley Foothills Competitive Aquatic League, or VFCAL, Championship Swim Meet for the 2nd consecutive year. The team showed dedication and teamwork in a dominating performance to secure the win, and we are all very proud of the hard work that they put forth, that the swimmers put forth, and the dedication of all their families, because it takes a lot. So congratulations to the Blue Marlins on another fantastic season, and best of luck next year. And then over at the Cordova Golf Course in July, we installed 3 new veteran-only parking signs to facilitate accessibility improvements for our many veteran golfers that frequent our golf course. And this enhancement has been very well received, and it really reinforces our district's commitment to inclusivity, community appreciation, and providing welcoming experiences for everyone. Also at the golf course, July 20th through the 23rd, Judge netting was out and replaced the entire backside of the driving range netting and 3 panels adjacent to the parking lot with new Dyneema netting, which is a durable, kind of top-of-the-line netting in the industry, and we're very excited to add that to the driving range. We also hosted 2 golf tournaments in July. First was the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 447 tournament on July 11th. We've hosted this tournament for decades, and we're thrilled to see they had 72 participants, which was great. Also was the College Green Buds tournament on July 25th, which had 60 players, and we received overwhelmingly positive feedback on the course conditions and service. And a huge thank you to Stephanie Baronkis, who, for the first time, took over all planning and successful execution of this tournament. So, great job, Stephanie. And finally, on page 198, that is your invite calendar for what's coming up soon. So, on September 19th, we have our always popular Meet the Machines at Hagen Community Park, and that's from 10 a.m. to noon. And then on September 26th, we have everyone's new favorite event, I think, Parktoberfest at Lincoln Village Community Park and Pool, and that's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We hope you'll join us for the fun-filled events and all the other exciting events coming up this fall, winter. That's my report. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I'm going to add just one more thing. You at the dais have the new recreation guides available to you. Of course, you probably already got it in the mail, but if not, feel free to share that information with people that are inquiring about what our district offers and resourcing them. So, thank you.
All right, that brings us to J, informational items.
Item J1 is our articles, correspondence, and public outreach, and item J2 is our district calendar for August and September, and we have received no public comment on those items.
All right, that brings us to K, closed session.
Item K1, liability claim pursuant to California Government Code Section 54956.9, claimant Andradas, agency claimed against Cordova Recreation and Park District.
All right, we will recess to closed session at 7:24. All right, we reconvene to open session at 7:37. Item K1, the Board of Directors voted unanimously to reject a claim against the district as presented by Andreas. That leaves us to M. Adjourn this meeting at 7:37.